What if I told you that the person you're waiting for, the one who will complete your soul, won't need you to look for them? What if I told you that they'll be the one to take the first step towards you? Do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think it's chance? Number. It's much deeper. It's a divine sign, an invisible movement orchestrated by Allah Himself. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could transform the way you perceive your emotional destiny. Have you ever felt that emptiness, that hollowness deep inside you that can't be explained? That silence in your heart, that feeling that something is missing? As if every beat of your heart calls to an echo that no one can hear. You observe the others around you. They laugh. They move forward. They find souls with whom to share fragments of their lives. And you remain there, frozen between impatience and trust. You have prayed, you have hoped, you have asked, sometimes whispering to Allah in the solitude of your nights. And yet, the emptiness persists. This emptiness that is not a lack, but a preparation. It's hard to understand that sometimes what you seek most intensely in this world won't come through your own efforts. Your soulmate, that person who will thrill every fiber of your being, is not something you can grasp. You can try to control time, predict encounters, force destiny. But destiny, when orchestrated by Allah, cannot be rushed. It follows a rhythm that only those lost in their own waiting can perceive. And it is in this waiting that your heart is purified, your soul is prepared, your inner light becomes capable of recognizing the light of others. Perhaps you doubted. Perhaps you thought your prayers were unanswered. Perhaps you believed the universe had forgotten you, that your supplication slipped through your fingers like water. But even in this apparent silence, Allah is at work in the secret of your existence. Your soulmate is moving towards you, not yet before your eyes, but on a path known only to the Creator. Every decision she makes, every step she dares to take, every hesitation she endures, all of this is guided to converge on you at the perfect moment. And that's the beauty of this wisdom. You won't see the divine hand at work, but you'll feel its impulse in your intuition, in those subtle signs you might think are insignificant. Do you remember those moments when your heart sank? When you felt that profound loneliness? Those nights when you wept silently, believing that no one understood your sorrows? What you didn't realize is that those moments weren't just trials, but preparations. Every tear was a polishing of your soul, every disappointment a cleansing of what wasn't meant for you. And at the heart of this silent purification, Allah is inscribing the path to your future. Your soulmate won't come while your heart is still filled with unhealed wounds. They will arrive when you are ready to receive them, when your whole being has learned to recognize what is true and pure. There is incredible power in the fact that this first impulse comes from the other person. There's beauty in the fact that you don't have to run, beg, or expose yourself to unnecessary hurt. When the first step is taken by another, it's as if the entire universe confirms that this is the right time, the right person, the right story. This isn't luck. This isn't happenstance. This is divine precision. And this precision is designed to protect your heart, to honor your path, to show you that what you seek so ardently is not lost. Look around you. Have you noticed those small signs you may have ignored? A lingering intuition, a sound that sticks, and an unexpected message that resonates more deeply than you expected. These are confirmations, subtle fragments of a larger plan than your eyes can perceive. Your soulmate is approaching, and their first move is already in preparation, even if your mind still struggles to believe. There will come a moment when you will feel an irrefutable sense of truth. It wasn't you who sought it. It wasn't you who forced it. But everything is converging towards you by the will of Allah. And it is in this waiting, in this suspension between desire and patience, that you will discover the depth of faith. Your faith is not simply believing that something will happen, but feeling that everything is orchestrated for you even when nothing seems to be happening. Your faith then becomes an inner light, a quiet strength that allows you to walk the world without fear, to smile in adversity, to keep your heart open, knowing that what you most cherish will not happen by chance but by the divine hand that knows your soul better than you know yourself. Imagine a person walks through a crowd, unaware that a single step brings them closer to you. Their eyes, sometimes lowered, sometimes raised to the sky, tell a story no one can read. Every smile they offer hides silent prayers. Every hesitation in their steps reveals the inner battles they have fought. They don't know your name. They've never heard the sound of your voice. And yet, their soul is already prepared to recognize yours, as if something invisible were guiding their heart. This person travels paths you don't know. Perhaps they take the bus every morning. Perhaps they stop at the same cafe every afternoon. Or perhaps they are simply there, in the same space as you, but in a dimension of life where destiny begins to weave its threads. They move forward because Allah has instilled in them the courage to cross that first distance, to take that step you haven't yet dared. And this step, however small, is more powerful than anything you could imagine. It is the divine hand beginning to write the story that will change your lives. You might believe that love begins with you. You might think it's up to you to seek to reach out, to expose yourself to risks, to hurts, to misunderstandings. But that's not how divine wisdom works. The first movement is a sign, a confirmation. Allah protects your heart, He respects your path, and He knows exactly when and how souls should meet. This initial gesture from the other person is not simply a coincidence. It is proof that the alignment of destiny has begun. And you, in this precise moment, still know nothing. But your heart is already beginning to tremble. Now imagine this person stopping for a moment. Perhaps to look around, perhaps to take a deep breath before continuing. And at that precise moment, she feels an inexplicable impulse, a silent intuition whispering to her, "This is a weather path must cross yours." This feeling, imperceptible to the human eye, is nevertheless clear to her soul. It is a direction given by Allah, an invisible force telling her that the first move must be made, that the encounter is imminent. She doesn't know it yet, but her heart has already chosen, and her mind is beginning to accept what her soul has always known. And you who are watching, perhaps without knowing it, perhaps without understanding, your heart is reacting to this same movement. You might feel a strange warmth, a vibration in your chest, a silent certainty that something is changing. It's not an imagination. It's a sign that your soul is in harmony with the divine plan. All that time you spent waiting, doubting, wondering if love would ever come, all of it is now converging toward this precise moment. You may not cross paths immediately. Perhaps life will place you a few meters, a few streets, a few moments apart. But even this time, this distance, is part of the perfect design. Every detour, every delay, every hesitation is a subtle orchestration that prepares your souls to recognize one another. For when a first step is taken by the one meant for you, that step never comes alone. It prepares your heart to receive. It prepares your soul to respond. It prepares the world to bear witness to what was written all along. Think of the feeling of a light breath on the back of your neck, that unexpected thrill when you realize someone is closer than you thought. The person you don't yet know, the one who will make that first move, advances silently. They could be in front of you, in a store line, in a park, on a sidewalk, or simply in your dreams. Every step she takes, every decision she makes, every glance she encounters, everything is guided by Allah to arrive at the exact moment when your paths are meant to intersect. And even if the world around you seems chaotic, even if life seems full of obstacles, nothing can interrupt this movement. And you who are watching or waiting, begin to feel this truth in your heart. You don't have to run, you don't have to impose yourself, you don't have to convince anyone. Everything is already orchestrated. Your role is to remain attentive, to keep your heart open, to purify your intentions, to remain aligned with what you sincerely wish for your soul. For the first step will come, and when that gesture occurs, it will be the first spark of a story you haven't yet imagined, but that your souls already know. What if I told you that everything you whispered in the dark, all those nights you turned to Allah with a heavy heart, was never lost? That every tear you shed in silence, every stifled sigh, every plea you thought was unheard, was heard, recorded in the secret of the universe, in the secret of heaven, that nothing ever disappears from the eyes of the one who knows all. You may have believed your prayers were invisible, that your hopes vanished in the wind, that your heart cried out into the void. But every moment you begged, every moment you believed no one understood you, was in reality a dialogue with the infinite. And this dialogue, however silent, bears invisible fruit. Your soulmate, the one your heart has tirelessly sought, is already moving towards you, guided by these same whispers, by the same energy you sowed in prayer. Perhaps you've tried to guess the path this encounter will take. You've imagined scenarios, coincidences, happenstance, signs. But what you haven't understood is that nothing is left to chance. Every gesture of this person, every step they take in their life, every decision they make is orchestrated by Allah to converge towards you. And that's the beauty of the truth. You don't need to run, to beg, to put yourself forward. Everything you've hoped for, everything you've waited for in silence, is now finding its answer in a movement you can't yet see. Imagine for a moment this person walking towards you, and you still unaware of their presence. They don't know that your heart is waiting for them, that your soul will recognize them, that your nights have been haunted by the hope of this moment. And yet, they are driven to take the first step. Their actions, their choices, their courage come from a place deeper than their own understanding. It is guided by the invisible hand of Allah, who shapes every encounter, every moment, with a precision that neither time nor space can alter. Every tear you've shed, every doubt you've felt, every fear of never finding, all of this becomes a bridge, a luminous path that your soulmate unknowingly takes. Your silent prayers, your invisible calls for love and guidance have sown an invisible force in the heart of the other. And soon, very soon, what you've been waiting for in the secret of your heart will come knocking at your door. But it won't be you who goes looking for it. It will be the divine gesture of the other, the one that bridges the distance, the one that crosses the invisible barriers of the universe, the one that answers your prayers before you even realize it. And in this movement you will discover something your lonely nights could never show you. True love is not won by force, nor by demand, nor by the pressure of human expectation. It unfolds in the gentleness of divine guidance. It arrives when the heart is ready, when the soul is ready to receive, and when the other has been prepared for you. All that time you thought wasted was not a void. It was a sacred space of preparation. It was the place where your heart aligned with destiny, where your inner light learned to recognize the light that would come to you. Perhaps you remember those nights when you prayed in silence, when you felt alone in the world, when you thought no one could hear your heart. Those nights were not ones of abandonment. They were a divine laboratory, where every emotion, every doubt, every hope was meticulously recorded to shape the most accurate, purest, most precise encounter your soul could recognize. It's not you who must bridge the distance. It's the other. And this gesture, this first step, is more than a simple movement. It's a clear sign, an echo of all your prayers, tangible proof that nothing is lost before Allah, that everything you have asked for in the secret of your heart has been heard and prepared for you. And when that moment arrives, it will require no artifice, no pretense, no drama, no exaggerated signs. It will be simple, but of an intensity that will make your heart tremble. A message, a glance, an encounter on the street, an unexpected smile, and suddenly, everything you have hoped for in silence will reveal itself with a clarity that will surpass anything you had imagined. Your heart will know, your soul will know, your spirit will know. Because this step of the other is the echo of your prayers, the reflection of your nights of supplication, the fruit of your sincere expectation. Think of a seed planted in the earth. Small, fragile, invisible to the naked eye. You see nothing for weeks, perhaps months. But what you don't see is more alive than anything you imagine. Beneath the surface, roots forge a path in the darkness. Explore the soil, seek moisture, cling to life. There, in that silence, in that darkness, the seed prepares itself for the exact moment when it will emerge into the light. It rushes nothing. It knows that every second spent in the soil is necessary for it to become what it must be. Your emotional destiny, your future with your soulmate, works the same way. You believe nothing is happening. You believe you are alone, that your prayers remain suspended in the void. You look around you, and everything seems motionless. But beneath the surface of what you see, Allah is at work invisibly, subtly, orchestrating every detail of your encounter. Every moment you felt the loss, every night you begged, every smile broken by loneliness. All of this nourished your heart and prepared your soul to recognize what is true and pure. The seed doesn't grow at its own speed. It doesn't rush toward the light, for it knows that the time for its growth is written. The stem that pierces the earth only appears when the moment is perfect, neither too early nor too late. Your soulmate grows in the same way. Even if you don't see them, even if you don't yet feel them in your life, they are evolving. They are preparing. They are purifying themselves. They are overcoming invisible obstacles, learning the necessary lessons, going through their own trials, all to become ready to take the first step toward you. You are not the one who must seek this person. They are the ones who will be guided to you by the divine hand. Imagine for a moment that seed finally breaking through the earth. The stem breaks through the darkness and seeks the light. She doesn't walk the path alone. Everything she has built beneath the surface has made her capable of this movement. She leaps toward the light as if an invisible force were pulling her, as if every particle of air and earth were telling her, this is the moment. Your soulmate, when she takes the first step toward you, will be exactly like that stalk. She won't rush. She won't make mistakes in timing. She will advance with certainty, guided by Allah, because her heart and soul have been prepared for this gesture. And you, in this metaphor, are the light toward which she's heading. You are the open sky that the stalk seeks after months of darkness. Your heart, your soul, your entire being will become the answer to months, sometimes years, of silent preparation. And at that moment, when the encounter takes place, you will feel something different, a certainty, an immediate recognition. You will know that everything you've waited for, everything you've hoped for in your nightly prayers, everything you've imagined in the deepest recesses of your heart has finally come together. This image is powerful because it shows you that nothing is ever lost. Every tear, every doubt, every moment when you thought love would never come, all of this is necessary for growth. Like the seed that remains hidden in the soil, your emotional destiny unfolds in silence. And the first step won't be yours. It will be her, your other half, your soulmate, who will pierce the darkness to come to you. She will cross invisible barriers, break her own limits, and in that movement, she will find you, ready to begin the story your souls already know. And what's even more beautiful is that the stalk doesn't choose the moment to emerge from the earth at random. It emerges exactly when the conditions are perfect. The ground is ready, the light is ready, the sky is ready. In the same way, Allah will choose the perfect moment for your meeting. Not too soon, not too late, not too dramatic, not too simple. Just perfectly aligned with your hearts, your souls, and the divine plan you cannot yet perceive. Everything you have experienced up to this point has prepared for this moment. Everything you have felt, everything you have sought, everything you have hoped for in silence has converged toward this instant. So, when that first step comes, it may not resemble what you imagined. It may be discreet, silent, but its power will be infinite. For this gesture will not come from chance, nor from need, nor from pressure. It will come from destiny. It will come from heaven. It will come from that invisible preparation that you have never seen but have felt. And at that precise moment, your soul will recognize the other soul like a light after the darkness, like the stem that finally pierces the earth to find the light. And in this silence where the seed waited beneath the earth, the first movement begins to take shape. Do you think you're the one who has to search? Number. Do you think that if you don't move, nothing will happen? Wrong. Do you think that Allah has forgotten you? That your silent heart and your nights of prayer are worthless in the vast plan of the universe? Impossible. Look at yourself for a moment here, in this precise moment, alone with your thoughts. How many times have you believed that your call remained unanswered? How many times have you thought that life was moving forward for others, and that you, yourself, remained behind, invisible, as if your heart were suspended in the void? And yet, listen carefully. Everything you've hoped for, everything you've waited for in silence, has already begun to materialize. Your soulmate, the one your heart has been waiting for so long, already carries within her the impulse to move towards you. She's moving, even if you can't see her yet, even if you can't yet feel that thrill in your soul. Do you really think you have to control everything, plan everything, rush everything? Do you think the only way your heart will find what it desires is to reach out and force destiny? Number. That's not your role. Your role is to stay aligned, to be patient, to purify your intention, to keep your heart open and receptive. Because in this invisible plan, orchestrated by the one who knows your soul better than you know yourself, every detail is meticulously prepared so that the first step comes from the person meant for you. And you know what's even more beautiful? That first gesture isn't random. It's not a coincidence or an irrational impulse. It's a divinely guided movement, a subtle breath of Allah's wisdom that traverses time and space to reach the perfect moment. This person, your soulmate, moves forward unaware, but with a determination that you will feel the moment your paths cross. She will break through the invisible barriers you thought were insurmountable. She will take that step your heart has been waiting for, but never dared to ask for. So listen carefully. You don't have to run. You don't have to beg. You don't have to expose yourself to fear or rejection. Everything you've experienced so far, all those nights of waiting, all those moments of solitude, all those silent prayers, was necessary to prepare you for this moment. Because when your soul recognizes the other soul, everything will seem in its place. Everything will seem clear. Everything will seem perfectly orchestrated. This first step will confirm that you were never alone, that you were never forgotten, and that everything you wished for in the secret of your heart has been heard and prepared. You may think that time is against you, that your dreams are too distant, that life has left you behind. But think again. The time you lived, all those experiences that seemed useless or painful, were in reality a silent weaving together for your souls to recognize each other. Every tear, every hesitation, every breath of patience was a preparation for that first step. Your role was to remain faithful, to continue believing, to continue praying, to continue hoping. Because the first move will not come from you. It will come from destiny, from the Creator who knows what is right for your soul. So I ask you these questions again, and this time, listen to the truth in your heart. Do you think you are the one who must seek? Number, your soul is ready, and the rest will come to you. Do you think that if you don't move, nothing will happen? Wrong. Souls who recognize themselves are never left inactive. They are guided, they are prepared, and they move forward exactly when the moment is perfect. Do you think Allah has forgotten you? Impossible. Your name is already written in the hand of the one who knows the future before you see it. Your prayers, your tears, your hopes, all of this resonates in infinity, and nothing is ever lost. And so, pause in your mind, listen to this silence. For in this silence you will feel an invisible breath, a subtle shudder that announces that the movement has begun. Your soulmate is approaching. Their steps are still imperceptible, but they are real. Their decisions, their choices, their beating heart, everything is converging towards you. And when that first step is taken, you will feel the confirmation that your waiting, your prayers, and your faith have never been in vain. So ask yourself, are you ready to receive this gesture? Are you ready to recognize that everything you have waited for, everything you have hoped for in the solitude of your nights, is already on its way to you? Because the first movement will not be from your hand. It is already mapped out, already prepared, already guided by the one who knows your soul better than you know yourself. And when that step comes, your heart will know, your soul will know, your mind will know, and you will understand that everything you have experienced so far was only a preparation for this very moment. So imagine this moment, a moment suspended in time, when everything you've waited for, prayed for, and hoped for so long begins to come closer. This moment won't be what your mind had imagined. It won't be dramatic, theatrical, or dazzling. It will be simple. Perhaps too simple for you to immediately recognize. But in reality, it will be charged with a shattering obviousness. An obviousness that your heart will grasp before your mind even has time to reflect. Perhaps you'll be walking down an ordinary street or sitting in a cafe you've frequented for years. Perhaps you won't notice anything at first. And yet, in that precise moment, everything will change. A vibration in the air, a subtle shudder in your soul, a sense that something new, unexpected, is touching your life. A message will appear on your phone, a smile caught in a stranger's eyes, an outstretched hand, and your entire inner world will stop for a moment. Your heart will recognize this gesture before you can name it. Your soul will know that it is not a coincidence, that it is not chance. It is the precise movement that your Creator orchestrated for you. Every detail you have experienced up to this point, all those lonely nights, all those silent prayers, all those moments when you believed love would never come, converges into this simple gesture. An outstretched hand, a smile, a look, and you will understand that your wait was not in vain, that your prayers were not ignored. This moment doesn't need noise. It doesn't need fireworks or grand declarations. Its power lies in its subtlety, in that silent certainty that lodges deep in your heart. You will feel this moment before you even see it. You will feel it like a light piercing the darkness you have been experiencing, like a warmth erasing the doubts and fears you have been carrying around for so long. And it is precisely this simplicity that makes it irresistible, unforgettable, indelible. Perhaps you won't immediately know that it is the first gesture. Perhaps your mind will seek to rationalize, to explain, to understand. But your soul will. Your soul will recognize the sign you have been waiting for years. It will understand that this moment is not just an encounter, but a response to every silent tear, every stifled sigh, every prayer formulated in the intimacy of your heart. Now imagine this encounter as an invisible wave crossing the universe. It begins subtly, almost imperceptible, and then it grows. Your heart races, your breath catches, and you realize that the unexpected is happening. This gesture, this look, this message is the first step. The first step you haven't taken, but have been waiting for all your life. It's an echo of all your prayers, a reflection of all your nights spent silently imploring Allah, a reminder that nothing is ever lost, that everything you've sincerely asked for always finds its way to you. And you begin to feel the intensity of this crescendo, as if time itself slows down to allow you to understand. Each second becomes a breath, each heartbeat a revelation. You feel the entire universe leaning over you, as if to say, everything is perfect. Everything was planned. Everything happened at exactly the right time. And in this suspension, you begin to understand a profound truth. The life you thought you'd always waited for wasn't a matter of chance or luck. It was a divine orchestration. Everything was guided, each step calculated, each moment prepared so that this first gesture could happen exactly as it was. You realize then that you didn't initiate this moment, that you didn't force destiny, that everything you've experienced, the doubts, the pain, the expectations, the prayers, was necessary for this gesture to find its rightful place. And it's this silent evidence, this inner thrill, this immediate recognition in your heart that makes the moment overwhelming. It's not just an encounter, it's an answer, a confirmation, a sign your soul has always been waiting for. And at that moment, in that simplicity, in that evidence, in that breath that crosses your heart, you know that something invisible but powerful has just begun. That this first step, however small, is the beginning of what you've always sought. And you realize that your role was never to rush this moment, but to remain faithful, attentive, open, and ready to welcome what the Creator has already prepared for you. If you felt this message deep in your heart, it's no coincidence. Perhaps it's the confirmation you've been waiting for, a reminder that your trust must always remain in Allah. So don't keep this truth to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs it. Leave a comment to tell me how it felt in your heart. And subscribe so you don't miss future spiritual reminders. Your soulmate will come to you. But in the meantime, let your soul soar